Hey, folks, the band is back together.
Put 'em back.
Yachtok survived his vacation.
It's the Great White North.
Yes.
It's the Great White North. Bob and Doug McKenzie. You remember that? Remember that? You don't
I'm
remember
excited to hear
And
some tales from your trip.
Oh, there are great fishing tales from
bet.
the Great White North.
Yeah.
Lot of fun.
But first, just so you know, this is the Flame Central podcast.
Powered.
It is powered
Yes. Boom.
by Alcova Mortgage. Joe's not going to do it. So
Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada
he's
boom. Let's go.
he's out of breath from his long vacation. That first Monday back, you
First
know. You got a
Monday
3-day week, though.
It's true.
Yeah,
Short week.
Short
4th of
week.
July.
Travel plans. We won't get into it.
We won't get all that, but hopefully everybody gets to have a short week like I know we will have.
Yes.
Celebrating the 4th.
We will have a short week, which is always good in my book.
Yes.
But we have a lot to get to.
Yeah.
We have a new an interview with the new women's tennis head coach. He is awesome.
Great guy.
Dash. Wait till you hear why.
I wish you could have been here for this one, Joe.
Yeah.
I wish you
Really?
could have been here
It
for
was
this one. yeah.
great.
Was
You
it
would have.
good?
I didn't ask any pickleball questions because you weren't here, and I know
Yeah.
sometimes tennis people,
They get a little
pickleball
bit
people, it can
finicky
get a
about
little
that. Yes,
dicey.
they
So
can get a little
I just
finicky.
stayed
I
away.
didn't even think of that.
I just stayed away. I didn't. Without you here, kind of having my
Do you know
back.
Dash
Yeah.
is great? You know, Dash is the name of a very famous person from a very famous cartoon. Do you know the answer to what cartoon it was? And who is the person? And what was his name?
I think his name was
Is
Dash.
his name Dash?
No, the last name, though. It's important.
Oh, I
Dash.
don't
He
know.
was a movie star in the cartoon.
I don't know.
The name Dash, right when you said Dash, I was like,
Yeah.
the first thing I thought of was from the Flintstones, right?
Okay.
And the name of the movie star in the Flintstones, he'd appear every once in a while. His
Yeah.
name was Dash Riprock.
Oh, now that you say
That
that,
makes
Dash
that makes
Riprock.
sense. Yeah, I've heard
So
of that.
now whenever I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
Dash,
yeah.
it'd be like, Dash Riprock.
Yeah,
He was very
See,
suave.
that's why we need you to be here for these
That's right.
interviews.
I know.
You bring
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is actually not where he got his
No,
nickname
no.
from, but you'll hear that in
Oh,
just
he
a moment.
He tells it.
Yeah, he tells
Yes,
us.
that
yeah,
is
yeah,
it's
that's
called a
This is
tease.
Oh, it's a tease. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a tease.
Watch the podcast
I'll have
back.
to watch the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's probably going to stop it after he's
Yeah,
off
yeah.
of it. But also, Kaidon Salter,
Yeah.
Yes.
huge praise
The
for
awards
him.
keep coming.
He was named the CUSA Michael L. Is it Slive? Male Athlete of the Year, which is voted on by all of the CUSA athletic directors,
That's
I
correct.
believe. So
That's correct. So
Wow.
covering all sports. Male athlete of the year.
And Yachtalk's got, for all you Flames fans out there, Yachtalk's got some inside scoop
Let's
on
hear it.
Caden Salter.
Because he's at the Manning
he's at the
Passing
he's at the
Academy.
Manning camp.
He's at the
yeah.
Manning camp right now.
What do you hear?
And Yachtalk knows folks at the Manning camp. So
Sources. Sources
I have
indicate.
sources within the camp.
Boots on the ground.
I've got boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And so I've been texting back and forth
Yeah.
with my boots on the ground
Yeah.
and about how, obviously they're the best of the best are at the
yeah.
Manning camp. And so do you want me to review
Yeah,
on
no.
that?
Let's hit us with
Yeah,
it,
let's
Joe.
hit it with
Let's
it,
go.
yeah.
I mean, this is what the Flame Central podcast
yeah,
is
exactly,
for.
That's why
exactly.
people tune
So
in.
here's why Liberty,
Yeah.
fans, because they do a lot of different stuff at the Manning camp,
Yeah.
talking back and forth. It's not just throwing the football, right? There's a lot of different stuff that are done at the Manning camp. And so my inside source tells me that of all the quarterbacks that are there,
Yeah.
that Kaidon Salter's athleticism is off the charts. And so, we see it,
Right.
obviously, week in and week out, but you always think to yourself, well, how does that stack up against teams we don't see or quarterbacks we don't see, right? And so when he's amongst the best of the best, they said that his athleticism definitely shines and stands out above the rest.
That's
Wow.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
That's exciting stuff.
It's interesting because I feel like we think okay, year one was in this offense for him was so
Right.
good.
Right.
And now he's getting all these accolades. He's going to the Elite 11, doing stuff out there, Manning Passing Academy, that it's just like, oh, well, it'll even go to another level. You think about almost 4,000 total yards, 44
Yeah.
touchdowns. How hard will that be, do you feel like, to replicate? Can he be better and still not put up those kind of numbers this year? Is that possible?
Yeah, I think there's two sides to that story. I think the one side of that story is the longer you give defenses an opportunity to defend an offense, the better that they're going to do.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like Jamie Chadwell brings in this offense last year. And it's like, whoa, what is it's so unique. It's so different. It's such
And with players no one's ever seen in the offense.
players never seen within the offense. And it's a hybrid of all these different things. Right. But it's like, the the more film you have on somebody, the more these defensive coordinators are figuring out, okay, what do we need? Liberty's obviously at Conference
You
USA.
don't think every CUSA defensive staff is studying this all off season, right?
Like, okay,
Liberty's the top
we
dog.
can try this. We can try.
Yeah.
We can do X, Y, Z. Here's how we can defend it. So you look at it from that aspect and you say, man, it would be hard because there's no surprises anymore, right? Now, that's one side. The other side is, okay, well, really, with Willie Korn and Island Newland Isaac and Jamie Chadwell, all these people that run this offense, like, how much have they put in? How much is left in the tank?
Yeah.
How much more of the playbook is there, right? How many of the new transfers and players that are coming up that have been in the system for a year know it even further?
Yeah.
How much more talent will they have?
That's what I was gonna say.
Those are the things that you could say, well, nobody stopped them at Coastal.
Yeah.
Right? And played against them. And now you increase the level of talent around Kaidon Salter, then could these numbers increase? It's just scary to say, yes, they could.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because yes, you have the touchdowns and everything, but in terms of like his production, maybe his production won't be as much as far as like rushing yards go, because he is going to have, I think, a lot more pieces around him as far as receivers and that's not a knock on the guys from last season.
No, and you lose the C.J. Daniels at the top end. But from all I hear from the guys that are on the team, they're saying the talent they brought in at receiver, and there's more options that, you get Reese Smith back and healthy, hopefully. Right. You get some of these other transfers in. They're like, there's a lot more guys that can hurt you in this offense.
Right.
I will say one thing. If you're looking for like, okay, just forget the yardage touchdowns. Like, where is a place to improve? Where could he be better? 61% completion rate, which isn't bad at all, but that was 80th in the country. Like your boy Bo Nix out there, Oregon, led the nation at 77%.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
So and that's something Caden's even talked about, like understanding defenses a little bit better, kind of his reads being a little sharper, and that could lead to easier completions, which could lead to a more efficient passing game as well. So that could improve.
And I think in talking with Willie Korn, and when I spoke with Willie about this, the best, what he's most excited about is that Kaidon isn't resting on his laurels. Is that he is hungry to learn and hungry to take the next step. So when you got a guy that, it's Matt Warner's favorite movie, Rocky. In Rocky 4, where they talk about the eye of the tiger. Right. Sometimes I can't. I wish I remember what's the song where he says rising up to rising up to the
everybody can change.
About 50 million people killing each other. Two guys killing each other at a rate of 50 million. Right. No, but rising up to your glory. Right. It's like he's not living on his glory, his past glory.
Right.
Like you got to stay hungry. Right. And that's what Willie Korn says.
It's Rocky 3. You go to California, you get in the old gym, you learn how to little footwork. Then next thing you know, you're running on the beach, hugging your bro.
There is no tomorrow, right? There is no tomorrow.
Yes.
That's how it's treated.
So good.
Maybe we should actually just roll one of those movies as next week's podcast.
But to your point, being around all these other dudes for Kaidon Salter,
great indicator.
Because anybody who's a competitor, you want to know, like, how do I stack up?
That's exactly right.
And you find out in this environment, and then you come back here and you say, okay, I got to get better in these spots, or I know that these guys are better in certain areas. How can I improve? And it's a lot of collaborating too, I feel like, between quarterbacks, with the Mannings and so many guys there that have so much knowledge just on like understanding the game at another level. And
the great part also, I think, of get that invitation to the Manning passing camp is this, 100%. They're going to, the coaches there will write a report about Kaidon Salter, and they'll be able to give that back to Willie Korn. And say, okay, here's what you see. Here's what we see. And here's what we see where his areas of improvement are. So I think that week is only going to help him a ton.
Yeah. We'll have some summer series. We're trying to get some former Liberty football players on the summer series for next week and for weeks to come here on the podcast. We also have a great My Moment series coming from Liberty football this upcoming season. So be on the lookout for that. We have some great moments from some of these guys. Kaidon Salter. We got Bentley Hanshaw. Bentley, it was so funny. We were like about to film him, and he was like sitting in the meeting room. He goes, so like, do we pick these or do you pick them for us?
It's your best moment in a Flames uniform.
I go, it's your favorite moment in a Flames uniform, right? Could be from any year. Doesn't have to be from last year. And I like looked at all the other guys. I'm like, You guys pick yours. Bentley, yours was the touchdown.
That was easy.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
come
picking
on.
that.
Yeah,
one.
that was
Come
easy.
on,
Yeah,
Bentley.
yeah.
First drive of the ball
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
In the Fiesta
Yeah.
Bowl.
Some really, really good information coming out of that. And no more good information coming out of Joe because his mic is broken.
No,
it's okay.
But we'll keep you in the loop with that. Let's switch gears to baseball, Matt's favorite sport, Emily's least. No, I'm kidding. Flames and MiLB.
Yeah.
Minor league ball, Will Wagner. I mean, we did the feature on him earlier in the season.
Willie Wagner?
And we were just like, man, is he like he needs to come alive.
Slow start.
Holy smokes.
Willie Wags?
You know what?
AAA.
You know what it is? Again, we
Flame
do
Central
a feature.
bump.
The Flame Central Bump.
That's what they call it on the streets.
Yeah.
They call it boost performance. Most
Yeah.
Liberty players, they call it Flame Central Bump.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, every single
Most
story
of it's
we
powered
do.
by Alcova
Yes,
Mortgage.
the majority.
The majority of it's powered by Alcova.
So, in the month
Will's
of
gonna,
June,
he's gonna get a call here soon.
Yeah.
If he keeps playing like this. Go ahead, hit the number.
385.
This is in June.
It's his
385.
batting average, 590 slugging percentage.
Whoa.
OPS over, how would you say it?
1,000.
1,000. See, I
Here's the
don't know,
crazy
a
thing
lot of
about him
baseball.
too. On the season, he's struck out 28 times. He's walked 41 times.
Yeah.
So he's walking more than he strikes out, which you don't see a lot
that's
this day and age in baseball. That they don't care if people strike out a ton. And he has his average up over 300 now on the season. So
Yeah, 308 on the season.
AAA,
What
he's going to get an
team is he
opportunity with the Astros. Astros AAA team.
Astros,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he's playing out of his mind. So good for him. It's been a while since the Flames have had a big leaguer.
Yeah.
Ryan Cordell was the last one. So he's knocking on the door. And then Fraser Ellard, reliever for AAA Charlotte, the White Sox AAA affiliate. He's been really good. ERA under 4, 51 strikeouts in 34 innings. And in June, same thing, an ERA of 2 in the month of June. So
Hot.
They're
got
getting
some
hot.
guys.
Flame Central
Jason
Bump is
Fluharty,
helping.
another one in the J system at AAA. So we've got 3 guys. There's really 3 guys right now at AAA, former Flames, that at any time you feel like could get that call and break into the big. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, so we'll keep you in the loop with those guys moving up. But we also caught up with Dylan Cumming. If you missed that feature, check out last week's Flame Central podcast or last week's Flame Central show or the Liberty Baseball social media. Another guy who just got called up, I believe, to high A, Joe Adametz. We have a story coming out on him as well. So be sure to check that out. And he is with the Detroit Tigers organization. So a lot of great stuff happening with Flames and the minor leagues and hopefully reaching the big league level soon.
Now, on the
On
flip
the flip side, I was like, do I mention this?
we saw actually just this morning or last night, he actually tweeted this out and made this public on his end, but Flames pitching coach Tyler Robinson heading to Ohio State. So
Just one year
one and
here.
done for the Flames. So Scott Jackson has a position to fill there in terms of pitching coach. Not an ideal time to do that probably for him. Probably not something he thought he would have
It's
to
the
deal
Flames.
with.
They'll find somebody.
But he'll find
Find
somebody
somebody great.
full
I mean,
confidence.
And you know
have
what
to
happens?
also think that there's that new pitching lab is coming. I think it's supposed to be here in the fall.
Yeah.
So it's not like Coach Jackson isn't gonna be able to find someone great, but it's just like
You like the continuity. if you
yeah,
can do it.
like just coming for a season, and I get it. Like it's like part of the business, but it's just like it has to be difficult because then your athletes, your pitchers, they're going to start moving around because there's like coaching movement, and it just you don't want to.
I mean, speaking of moving,
Yes.
right? Why not? If this new pitching coach is coming in, right?
I know exactly where you're
we'll
headed.
just power him by
know.
Alcova Mortgage.
Can
We'll
I-
get him settled into his new
Can I
place.
pull back the
He'll
curtain?
get the
Yeah.
1%
Can I pull back the
discount.
curtain a
Joe
little
loves
bit
all
here?
these
Come
coaching
on.
changes.
There's no one that loves these coaching changes more than Joe Yock. I'll get text messages. What do you know about this new coach? Do you know him?
Yes.
Let's let him know about Alcova. Let him
Just
know
get
he
him
can
on
be
the deal.
powered.
Oh
Yeah. So
my gosh.
yeah, Joe's fired up.
Yeah, there's no doubt
Are
about
these
it.
sand dollars on your shirt?
I don't know what they are.
I
What
think
are
they're
they?
little
Compasses.
sand
Yeah.
dollars.
It's summertime.
Okay.
I
We go to
think
the
no,
beach?
I
Summer
like.
series.
I'm actually giving you a compliment. I
It's
really
the
like
Yacht-
it.
It's the Yock Summer
It
Series.
the Yacht Summer
it's
Series.
Polo
Yacht-
Summer Series.
Yacht Summer Series.
Hey, but all that to say, you may want to give
Yacht
Scott Jackson a
$6
call
Summer
and get
Series.
ahead of this.
You know what?
Just be like, hey, before
Oh
you
my
make the
gosh,
hire,
this is not
just
about us,
find
you
out.
guys.
Do you know why?
You're looking to buy. You're going to rent.
Yes, we'll
Just
take
ask
care of
those
that.
questions.
You know
during the
why? You
interview
know why
process.
Scott Jackson feels my phone call? You know why?
Because you put on
Because I put the dog collar on. And I took it like a
shot
man.
collar. He did love that.
I took
I was
that
like,
shot
what is
collar
he talking
like
about?
a grown man. And
loved-
Scott Jackson
yeah.
respects that.
Love the video of Joe wearing the dog shot collar.
Gosh,
He did.
that.
Oh, by the
doesn't?
way,
You don't
we
hear
won't
this
get there
every
right
day.
now. We won't get there right now.
Yeah.
We can wait to the end. This teaser, another teaser. Yeah. I got a bone to pick with the Flame Central show.
The TV or the
TV
podcast?
show.
Okay.
TV show. Okay.
Before we get to this conversation it's Dash Connell.
Canal.
Canal.
It sounds like
Yeah.
it looks
Dash
like
Canal.
Rip Rock.
it looks like Connell, but it's pronounced
Dash
Canal.
Rip Rock.
Rip Rock.
Kennesaw State
Welcome aboard.
officially has joined
Welcome
the
aboard,
Conference USA
Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
They still
team
run
today,
that triple
so
option.
congratulations.
I think they do. Yeah, I was looking into that a little bit. Brian Bohannon's still their coach. He came from Paul Johnson,
That's
Georgia
tough
Tech.
to stop.
It's interesting because I was like, it's
So
only been
wait.
a year.
These are last.
Yeah.
The conference they were in last
Yeah.
year.
ASUN.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's only been a year.
Oh, yeah, because they were in ASUN, so they
And
beat
so I
us
was
in
like, well, let
basketball.
me just go
Duh.
back and look at what they were good at this past year.
Yeah.
Not much.
Really?
Men's and women's track and field.
Oh, yeah,
And they
they-
were a good rival for the Flames in the ASUN days. So they definitely helped there.
How they do in football?
In football, they were only 3-6.
What?
But part of it was they did, I think, kind of the Sam Houston thing where they like redshirted everybody. Because this past year didn't mean
I
anything.
got you.
Oh, that's right.
But
Yeah.
even saying that,
But they just started in
post-
2015.
yeah, it's true. It's a young program. But 2022, they were only 5-6. They were really good before that, though. 11-2
were.
in 21, 11-3 in 19, 11-2 in
hammered
18.
the Flames.
They've reached the FCS quarterfinals twice.
Yes, they're good.
So they've been really good. The last
Right.
couple of years have been kind of shaky. So I expect kind of like, I know Sam Houston didn't exactly bounce back their first year in, but I think they'll be better than what their record a year ago would indicate.
Yeah. So baseball 4th, softball 9th, men's basketball 9th.
Yeah, men's
well,
basketball
they
too, they
also
lost their head coach.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of players from that team
Durham,
that
yeah,
won the
he
conference
went
title,
to
South
USF,
Florida. Yeah.
Volleyball 4th, and then like you said, the men and women's track and field
Yeah.
champs. So.
But you could have the Owls in 10 teams now, and then next year Delaware, Missouri State join as well to
Yeah.
get you to 12.
But I mean, Kennesaw State, as far as the future for that program and now joining like a good conference like
Right.
CUSA, that's like the Atlanta area. So you're gonna get some good football players that come through there.
And it's a
playing at this level.
big school.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like close to 30,000 students. Like it is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a huge school. So it's kind of surprising it took that long to get football in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But once they did, it's moved quick.
Sounds like they're all in.
All in.
Sounds like they're all in.
And guess what they are?
Yeah, I knew you were
Oh,
going to
yeah,
do
no,
that.
it's
Owls.
not. No, what are we?
But I'm not
Get out
I'm
of
not
here.
a Kennesaw State
No,
owl.
come on.
you know.
All right, first let's get to this conversation, then we'll hear some stories about Joe's amazing trip to Canada. Canada. Here's our conversation with Dash Canel. All right, we're going to take a little break from our summer series with the alumni catching up to welcome in new women's head tennis coach, Dash Connell. You know, Coach, I have a little bit of an issue with pronouncing names.
Yes.
That's not so.
Yes,
so when I
it's
told
not
my
so
mom
secret issue.
I was getting into reporting, she's like, "Are you sure?
Yeah.
You can't pronounce anything." And there's this story that I have to tell. I saw your last name, and it gave me so much anxiety. Okay, because there
Yes.
was this
Field hockey.
field
player.
hockey girl, and we're recording the show, and her name is Jody Connolly.
Connolly.
Connolly. But I could not. I mean, we have a whole blooper
It was
reel.
like 30 times in a row she said colony.
I couldn't say it. So when I saw it, I'm like, oh gosh, Matt.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. She almost called in sick
You
today.
did good first time.
Yeah,
You did good
yeah,
first time,
yeah.
I'll tell you that. That was good.
Canal. So it's Dash Canal.
Yeah.
I love that name. I feel like you should be a track coach, but I guess we'll settle for being the women's tennis coach.
I'm not very fast.
Okay.
You know, my real name is John Paul, and there's a dash between the John and the Paul, so they call me Dash.
That's
Yeah.
a good story.
That's
a
my
good
that's my
backstory.
parents. They're
Yeah.
they're fun. My
Do
parents
you
are
know-
fun.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Do you know why you come to the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage? To
Information
get
like that.
inside information on our coaches like this.
Yeah.
Coach, welcome to the mountain. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you.
What's it been like the last, few weeks and days for you?
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. You know, this wasn't something career-wise I had a plan of doing. I was very happy with the situation I was in, and then I heard about this opportunity, reached out to some people, they reached out back, and then from there, I don't know why it's surprising, but it felt like God just had each step planned out. And so every time I get a little anxious or a little, man, we got to pack things, we got to move here, we got to get ready, we got to recruit, there's always that God going, hey, I told you this was going to happen, and you're good.
It'll all
And
work
so
out.
It's been really good.
That's awesome. Yeah, we were wondering if Ian McCall reached out to you, if you reached out to him.
Did you have any connection to Liberty? And I guess first, before you get there, for folks that don't know, at Tyler Junior College, since 2011, I think it's been, 10 national championships, coaching the boys and the girls, right? So, like, you've
Just
done
got our 11th.
Just got your
yeah.
That's a lot of
Somebody
pride.
needs to update the
That's a lot of
notes.
pride.
We need to update the notes.
Let's update the notes. Matt Warner is
Yeah.
usually the
Yeah.
research guru,
Yeah,
but I
right.
guess we're going to have to change this title.
We'll edit that out. We'll edit
that's
that
fine.
out. But so a ton of success at the junior college level. But was there a connection at all to Liberty?
I think we knew a lot of the same people. Ian being from Texas at Baylor for a little bit, and others just having that connection in Texas. And then just I had connections with Liberty from sending a player from Tyler Junior College to Liberty a few years ago. So I knew about the school, what the culture was like, what it was about. So like I said, when the job opened, I was super excited just to put my name out there. I actually reached out to Derek first, the men's coach, and said, hey, what do I got to do? Who do I got to talk to just even be thought about for this? And he gave me some names, and I started calling.
That is so wild.
And you just said 11 national championships. Call me back. Yeah, that was the voicemail. Yeah.
So when you get on campus, are you like, okay, I guess these facilities will do?
My
Like, are
goodness.
they okay for you?
So I will be honest. I come from the junior college I'm at.
Yeah.
Tennis only is top notch. The facility is fantastic,
Right.
And then I came here, and these facilities were awesome. I was still blown away because you see videos of them. You see, oh, here's the new indoor facility. Here's the offices. Here's the players' lounge, and you're excited. And then you see it in person, and it actually gets better. And so that was a really sweet feeling.
What's the biggest challenge? And obviously you're facing this now for the first time, I guess. But like the biggest differences between leading a junior college program and now 4-year school, Division I, like how is it different? How is it different between the two?
I think there's similarities and differences, but I mean, the main difference is, number one, is who I'm recruiting. You're recruiting a specific type of student at a junior college, and I think actually now my options broaden a little bit of who I can recruit. The other main difference is obviously at a junior college is 2 years.
Yeah.
At a 4-year school, you get to build relationships differently. A team builds differently. The culture at a junior college, the first month, I had to pump the idea of culture into everybody because half of them were new.
Yeah.
And now I get the privilege of having seniors. You know, someone who's heard my voice for a few years, and they get to go, this is the culture, without me even saying anything yet. So those are the two biggest differences, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And will be some figuring out also.
The women's tennis program has been competing for, conference championships, but you with 11 national titles at the junior college level, what do you think it's going to take this program to that next level? What is the secret, I guess, ingredient to win a national championship?
So you're right. They've been really successful, and they've done a really good job of having a great foundation the last decade or so. I think the main thing is it's almost like you need that in tennis, 1 or 2 extra players, they take it from here to there. Yeah. Feels like a little bit of that. It also feels like I don't want to, this sounds like a lot, but I don't want to be good. I want to be really good. I want to be great. And I think that's something that comes from me being lucky enough to have the experience at Tyler Junior College of winning a lot. If we're not winning a lot, I'm gonna be fine, but I really don't like losing. We're gonna work. we're gonna find a way to get a little better every day. And once we see, okay, this is our goal, we're gonna work each day to that. And I wasn't on campus to see it firsthand of how it went the past decade. I saw the results. I know how we did things at Tyler. I think we'll bring a lot of that here. There's just a winning idea of if we're not winning every day, then you're not going to win it in May. Yeah. And so I think that's the first step.
Now, tennis is kind of a family deal for you, right? Isn't your dad and all? Like this is like what you guys do.
This is it. My dad's been a tennis coach his whole life. He worked at a country club. I was always around the courts, whether I liked it or not. Yeah. And my mom was there. She ran the pro shop, but she coaches now too. It's pretty cool. They live outside of Houston, and they both still teach kids at the high school.
Wow.
At 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the heat in Texas.
I was about to say 3 p.m. in Houston. No thanks.
They're out there. So my brother played, my sister played, and so I played, and then now my sons play. So it is a family sport for us. My dad had an idea he always said it seriously. I think as a kid, I took it not seriously, but he said he felt like he could be a picture of Jesus in tennis shoes. He's like, I want to show people who Jesus is through my job. And I was like, as a tennis coach, that didn't make much sense. I get it more now. I get it more now. Someone who could just be active, let's have fun, we're going to get better, and this is Jesus also. And so
that's so great. So you did coach men and women, now just women here at Liberty. What's the biggest challenge of coaching women?
I'm glad you asked
this feels like a trap question.
I couldn't ask that question. Yeah.
And except us being, usually Joe's here so they can like beat up on me. But Coach, just buckle up. I am an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. Could you give me any tips? Because
here's so I get asked this question a lot. Which one did I prefer, men or women?
Right.
And I didn't prefer one over the other. To me, they were two very different sports. The way the ball travels, the game planning, just their ideas, the way they think, it's very different.
We think.
It's going to sound,
we actually think.
This is
That's
very
the
true.
difference.
So my experience with men is within a week, they will buy into what I'm selling. Like, hey, within a week, they're like, yeah, let's go do it. And they will, yeah. With females, typically, I will tell them, hey, this is the way I'd like to do it. And they're processing. They're going, okay, I think I get what he's saying, but let me really see what he's trying to say. And it takes sometimes more time to earn that trust. But when that trust is earned, I find it stronger on the female side than the male side.
I got chills. I believe it. I believe it.
It just takes time sometimes. But I really do believe, I'm a male, so I can say it. Girls are just smarter. They process differently. So there you go.
I can't wait to clip this off for Joe.
Make sure you show my wife that later too.
I don't know if that's a blanket statement. You can make, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's nice. Listen, I went back. We're doing a little research, right, for you coming on.
Matt's
went back
offset here.
There we go.
And found a little Q&A that you did when you were playing at Texas A&M.
Oh, yikes.
And so I had a couple of questions for you based off of that.
Did you have hair there? Maybe you guys can relate on the baldness.
There's no photo, but we have really
He
bonded.
called you an idiot, but you guys are both bald.
Yeah.
So
That's just so good.
Back at this time, you said something you'd always wanted to do but hadn't was bungee jump. Have you done that since college?
No, I haven't done that. No.
But do you still want to?
No.
Did you
I was young.
Did
No.
you even write this?
I wrote that.
Okay.
tell us the truth.
They hand you a sheet of paper and go, hey, you fill out these
Yeah.
questions, and all the guys are sitting there side by side, like,
Yeah.
hey, what are you filling out? And I was like, I'm gonna do bungee jumping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you want to look cool.
I'm not gutsy
Well,
enough to
on
do
that same note, are you still watching Dawson's Creek? Because that was also
I'm
on
not answering
one
that
of your
question.
favorite
I'm not
shows. Okay, all right. Well, all right, that's fine.
I think it was a guilty pleasure or something like that with Dawson's
Oh my
Creek.
gosh. That's not the same thing as 90210.
No, that was
different
I think that
ones.
was a different. That was a different deal.
I'm glad you did this research.
Right.
This is good.
What
This is
away
great.
from tennis though do you enjoy? Whether it's with you or your family, what other hobbies?
So me and my sons, we really like to play disc golf right now.
Oh, okay.
Which is fun.
We'll hook you up with some people here.
I know there's a lot here.
Our normal camera guy, Doug, he's going to be so mad because
Yeah.
you guys could have talked. I mean, he's sitting there watching YouTube videos
Same.
all day
Yeah,
at work
yeah.
of
This
disc
is my-
golf.
this is
I
when
was like,
I-
I'd rather watch paint dry, but continue on about your passion.
No, I mean, it's if I wake up before everybody else and I have 30 minutes, I'll have a cup of coffee and watch disc golf. So.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's a guilty pleasure of mine. Outside of that, it's anything me and my boys and wife can do outside. And that's one of the things that intrigued us about this area. We love going hiking, camping. We're kind of outdoors people.
Ooh,
And so-
we'll get you all hooked up with all
you're
the
in the
great
right place.
trails
You're in the right
and
place.
hikes and everything. There's
Yeah.
a disc golf course right across
Yeah.
on the mountain here, so you guys will be
Yeah.
great. But here at Liberty Training Champions for Christ, I know you mentioned it a little bit about your dad, but what makes Liberty the right fit for you in terms of that and your faith story?
Yeah. So this is when I first took the job at Tyler Junior College. A conversation me and my wife had. We were figuring out as a married couple, what were we called to do? What are we supposed to be doing? And when that job I was offered, it wasn't a big pay increase. I'll put it that way. And so I went to my wife with the idea, and I thought it would be shot down very quick. We were about to have a child, and she said we prayed about it, we talked about it, and she said, I really feel like what we're supposed to do is go work at a university or college And instead of us going out to the world comes to us. And then we get to live Christ in front of them. So that's been our mission for the past 15 years, okay?
So awesome.
And then, so when this job came open, my first thought was, I don't have to change a thing. Like, it's the exact same mission. And not only that, but maybe there's even more support. Not that there wasn't support in Tyler.
Right.
It's I had all the support I needed. And I was able to even speak about Christ openly, things whenever it was appropriate, right? And so, but here it just felt like, man, this feels like an easy fit. Like, this is already what we're doing, and there's all these other reasons, all these other boxes it's checking. And so we're just super excited to pour into the community, the girls, everybody. And so, because God's blessed us a lot. Like I told you, how getting here just did not feel like we did anything. It felt like he has just continued to gently say, hey, this is it, this is it. And so we're excited.
The Mountain has a reputation of doing that, like bringing you in, and then it is like you think that you hear the stories of how great it is, and then you get here, and it's just different. Like, it's really, really neat. So
last thing for me, I was telling you, my first job was in Tyler, Texas. Covered Tyler Junior College some, but really my main question is, do they still have Double Dave's Pizza Buffet there? Is that still a thing in Tyler?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I did some damage on
But
that
they don't.
buffet. They don't.
There is no Double Daves anymore.
Well, then I have no reason to go back.
No.
I have no reason to go back.
Did you go to Juicy's though? You know
No.
Juicy's?
No.
That's the main reason to go back. Juicy's hamburger.
That I don't. Okay,
It
I
may
didn't
be
know about that.
Juicy's and Stanley's Barbecue. Those
Okay.
are the,
That's her dog's
Those are-
name, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
that's my dog's name.
Ooh, these are two great locations. If you
Okay.
end up in Tyler, Texas, those are the two spots I would hit up first.
Do you guys have a dog?
We just got one.
Oh,
Literally
that's
a week
convenient.
before.
Yeah.
A week before we figured this out.
Yeah.
Not great. We call it.
Are you gonna give it back?
No, stop it.
Sorry, kids. Can't cross state lines. yeah.
No,
so
it's been
awful.
it's been a tough first
offering
few weeks though. I'll tell you that. It's a
Yeah,
puppy,
yeah,
so you're
yeah.
dealing with all this stuff.
Boy, no, that puppy will love life here in Lynchburg. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate
So
it.
great to get to know you. We do these out of the office segments, so we need to get on the disc golf course with you and the fam maybe and do a little out of the office.
That'd be
We'll
fun.
let you get a little settled.
I said I'm a fan. I didn't say I was good though.
Right.
Just to tell
no,
you.
that's
Okay.
Editing.
fine. That's
It's all
fine.
about the editing.
It's all about the edit of like getting you throwing, and then it cuts to a shot of jingle when it like hits the whatever they were called. Yeah, I haven't really
She's a
studied that much.
president.
Coach, thanks so much again.
Yeah,
Looking
thank
forward
you.
to having you here full time.
Thank you guys.
Like we said, it would have been nice to have Joe
It
present
would.
for
I
this
would have
interview,
no idea what happened in
but
that interview.
it's okay. Next time, he's a lot of fun.
Oh,
I
he's
think we
great.
can do some great out of the office segments.
Yeah, big
and-
into disc golf.
Really?
Big disc golfer.
Yep.
He Joe, and again, I know you'll watch this back, but so he was coached Tyler Junior College, 11 national championships. He coached the men's and the women's, 11 national titles. I think in the 12 or 13 years he was there. So he's high level. He's
Yeah.
done a really good job. Yeah.
Like we just
Winners win.
Winners win.
Yeah, like we just heard, one thing he has in common with Doug, who helps us run our entire podcast.
Yeah, Doug wasn't here either. He would have loved this guy. Big
Doug-
disc golfer.
What
You
is
guys
it?
would have
He
loved.
sits there and watches YouTube videos all morning.
I'm like, that's
And
what
I'm
Doug
like-
does.
I'm like, this is what Doug is like. Can you send me tickets to track my work time? I'm like, Doug, I saw you on YouTube watching disc golf for
Now-
the last 4 hours. I'm not sharing a
Now,
podcast ticket.
I heard, I saw a billboard for this. Like Central Virginia has like a great disc golf
Is that true, Doug?
program.
Big. It's
Yeah, I
big
mean,
in this
like
part
it-
of the country,
like it's
right?
Not
yeah.
like it's not like it's like, oh, some people here and there play. Like they're very serious about their disc golf.
Worlds
Get
is
outta
here.
here.
Worlds
Worlds
is here.
disc golf, according to Doug, in August. There you go.
Wait, and then I may tell you, am I wrong about this? But
Doug, come on the show.
Hey,
Just come.
am I wrong about this? But it wasn't like some guy who's a disc. Yeah, he's
Paul
like
Macbeth. He's like the Michael Jordan of
like
disc
the Michael
golf.
Jordan of disc
Yeah,
golf.
it's here.
He's right here.
Yeah.
He doesn't live here anymore.
You know what?
He used to live here.
He should be a
Oh,
part
not
of the
anymore. Okay.
summer series.
Okay.
We need to have him on the.
Moved to Jacksonville.
Moved to Jacksonville,
Okay,
buddy.
well, as they do.
Was he a Liberty guy?
His wife is from Liberty.
His wife
Okay,
is from
wife
Liberty.
from
Okay.
Liberty.
From
I
Liberty.
love all
Close
this
enough.
off-camera
Close
stuff.
enough. Hey,
This is
guess what?
great.
He'll get the discount too. If his
Yeah,
wife goes
sure,
there. Why
sure.
not?
Hey.
Oh
Why not?
my gosh.
Why
And
not,
just in
Paul?
case you missed it earlier in the show, that's alcovamortgage.com/liberty if you are looking to move
Yeah.
around the world
Tell
to
them what
be a
they can
disc
get,
golf
Joe.
professional or to be a coaching change
Hey.
or if you're a part of Liberty.
Hey, we're closing these things up like crazy. Everybody's taking advantage of it. I got Andrew Lockridge, Liberty. He gave me a beautiful, maybe my best review ever. You
really?
can go on my Twitter and
I
read it.
thought I gave you a pretty.
You
better-
did give me
didn't
a
I
good.
give you
It
a
might
good
have
one?
been better than
Okay.
yours. It was good, but you can save up to $5,000 in your closing costs. Alcova.com/Liberty. For Liberty alumni, employees, and staff.
Why wouldn't you?
It's the best deal going. So you're looking to purchase or refinance. It's almost too easy.
Free money.
Free money.
All right, Joe, let's hear some great stories.
By the way, today is Canada Day.
It is?
It is.
What?
So this is perfect. This fits right in with you. Joe just got back from Canada.
This is actually part of the rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canada Day.
Canada Day.
Okay,
Happy Canada
so
Day.
we went fishing up, and it was unbelievable. So I won't take too much time, but we went way up, stop, way up. Just for that, I am going to take it. We went. That was a mistake. You just made a mistake.
And
This
the
story just got
ratings were really
longer.
good
Yeah.
until the last
We
10
saw
minutes.
eagles. I saw bear.
Oh.
But we go into this place, and you got to get on a barge, right? And this resort we stayed at was really nice, a really nice place. But on this barge, they have all the food packed on the barge that you're going to have for the week, right? So boxes, just food, this is for everybody, not just us. And then we're sitting around the food on this barge, and the wind's coming in, we're splashing us, getting wet. It's cold, right? You're like, what have we gotten ourselves into right here? Like this is not very
Show
comfortable.
up in some little shack.
Yeah.
Show a little shack. Well, once we got through that, you cruise around the corner at Wiley Point Resort in Ontario, Canada. Absolutely gorgeous, first-class operation.
You want to write a review on the show?
I can write a review on the show. But anyway, so there's a couple things going on. So I'll give you two good stories.
Okay.
One, my brother Jeff, who's the oldest, Jeff, John, Jim, Joey, right? So I'm the youngest of the four.
Yeah,
So Jeff
makes
we're
sense.
sitting around dinner one night, and it's all of us around the dinner table, and Jeff says, Joey, back when you were just a little guy and you used to run around he's 9 years older than I am. You used to run around your PJs, your little one-piece PJs, right? He said, you used to get in the bed with me, and we would snuggle all the time. And I used to love snuggling with you. I said, hey, bud. I call him Bud, right? I said, hey, Bud, right at dinner in front of everybody. I say, hey, Bud, why can't we snuggle right now, right?
No.
So my brother's 60, he's 61 years old right now, or 63. No, he's 63 years old. And so I went over to my bud, and I tried to snuggle him, and he was not.
He's not having
Look,
it.
look.
I don't blame him.
And there's Jimmy. Here, can we get a zoom in on this picture at all?
Jeff's right here.
It's right here. There's
little
there's
wrestling
Jimmy.
your brother. Yeah,
wrestling the brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
There we are. Just having a little.
Yeah.
See that? Just having a little snuggle time
Yeah,
together.
that's
He didn't
good.
like that.
No, he didn't like
and then we do have some good fishing stories. Take a look at this fish that I caught. Check this bad boy out. Check
You're gonna
that
have
bad
to
boy.
watch on YouTube. If
Look
you
at
want.
that.
Look at that monster.
Wow.
That's a northern pike.
Yeah.
That's a northern pike
It's
right there,
so
and I
pretty.
reeled in that monster. But we had a
The
great
bucket
time.
hat. He was wearing a bucket
We had a bucket hat on. We had a great time. Ben, the hardest fish to catch is a muskie. You know what they call the muskie?
What?
The fish of 10,000 casts. That's what they say. You have to cast 10,000 times before you get to.
Yeah.
We go to this beautiful spot.
Yeah.
Glass lake, right?
Yeah.
We got a guide with us, so we know this. We actually somebody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so the guide's like, just keep throwing it out. So
Yeah.
my Benny's with me. My son Ben's with me. He throws one out. Fifth cast, he hooks a giant
Of course
muskie.
he does.
A giant.
This is so Ben.
Right? No, but no, it's not a good ending of the story.
Oh.
He reels this bad boy in, and I'm looking over the boat, and this thing's massive, right? And the guide's got this. The net is huge. This net he has, and so he's going to scoop out of the net, and the muskie goes, dives straight down to the lake, right? Got off the hook. Never got him in the boat.
One that got away.
Wow.
Never got him in the boat. But we did catch some great northern pikes and had a really
White
good time.
buffalo, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you stayed around this long to
that's
hear. If you want to hear more of Joe's stories in Canada, you can go to
Yeah, we'll give you his phone
alcovamortgage.com/liberty.
myself.
Or
Yeah.
his cell is 434.
Hey, you know what? And I teased earlier, but I get a little bit of bone to pick with you guys.
Oh yeah. What is the problem?
So the Flames. I'm up last night, and I was up late. I'm a late guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I finished watching the Olympic trials and all that kind of stuff, which I love doing that.
I love
And it's so great. And Simone Biles, the gymnast. I just love the gymnastics part of it. It's just so exciting. Adina does not like when I commentate, though.
No?
Oh, she stuck that landing. No. Ooh, that one. Little wobble right there. No, she
Yeah.
doesn't like it. Yeah, too much commentating.
You would be great broadcasting gymnastics.
Yeah, we do. It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Because they're
Snoop-
telling a story in the floor
Snoop
routine.
Dogg.
They're telling a story in the floor
Right,
routine,
right.
right? And I like to tell a
Have
story.
you-
They're traveling through the woods. Oh,
Yeah.
there comes the light. I can see. Right? I do that, and I tell the story.
Yeah,
Because
right.
that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And I do that, and it drives my wife nuts. Because I tell the whole story. Figure skating is my best one. I do
my
the best.
God.
Gymnastics is good, but I'm a pro at figure
Remind
skating.
me of
Tell me
Scotty
the story.
Hamilton.
Have you
Yeah,
watched the
Scott.
NBC broadcast when Snoop Dogg
Yeah,
is
Snoop was doing it.
commentating the steeplechase? He goes, "Oh, he jumped over that like a horse. Oh, he fell in the water. Oh, it's
Yeah,
huge
that's good
splash."
stuff.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So I'm watching the
on
Flames,
NBC.
So I'm watching the Flame Central podcast, not podcast, the Flame Central TV show, right? And it was great. I'm loving all the stories. You guys did the story on the girl who plays basketball in Australia.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that one, and then you finish it up with the pack line defense story between field hockey and talking to the basketball coach. And I'm listening to this thing. I'm like, oh, it's coming. It's coming. We're going to credit Joe Yock because he broke it
the
first
news.
on the Flame
Yeah.
Central podcast. Hey, you guys need to discover the pack line defense. We talked with Nikki. We're like the whole deal.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm thinking, okay. And all it was about Coach Pierre. Is that right?
Yeah,
His name?
yeah.
Coach Pierre over in the basketball team. No mention of Joe Yock.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
I'm sorry. Man. Well, I'm glad we could clear that up now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad we cleared it
Yeah,
up now
I'm
because
glad we could
if you go back and pull the
Yeah.
archives, you'll realize that I discovered the pack line defense for the women's field hockey team.
Thanks so much for listening and watching.
Okay, that
We're-
might be stretching. a
Yeah,
little bit.
maybe a little. Yeah, maybe a
We'll
little.
try our best, right? Or we'll let you know if we
About
don't
next
have
week?
a show next week.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
trying
gone
our
next
best.
week.
I'm gone next week too.
So
That might
there
have
is
just decided.
there is
There's
a very
yeah.
small chance that if we can't line up a guest the next 2 days, there's a very small chance.
If you want to be a guest on the Flame Central podcast,
just come on in
Flame
Studio
Central at
A.
liberty.edu. Let me know. Tell me why you want to be a guest. If your pitch is good enough,
I got
we'll
an
get you on
idea.
here. What?
I just bring Dougie on, talk disc
Bring
golf.
Doug. Disc golf
Okay.
hour.
Disc golf. Just
We-
get an hour of disc
Yeah.
golf.
We
Or
won't really
we just
let
do the
you
whole
know.
interview with him off camera, no mic, and we just do it that way. We keep relaying it back and forth.
And
we
then,
can just do it like that.
and then you can do the commentating over it, you
Yeah,
know, with
beautiful.
Anyway. So most likely we won't have a show, but if we do, then it'll be a nice surprise. We'll do our best. For Joe, everyone have a very safe
God
4th
bless
of July.
America.
Big fourth at the
Please.
yacht compound.
Well, we're deciding what we're gonna do. We're gonna go up to Smith Mountain Lake, or
Yeah.
it's looking
I saw-
it's looking that way. Go Smith Mountain.
I saw a tweet. Somebody was like, so many Americans don't know that they're not leaving next week with 10 fingers. We're just like, so please be careful if you're setting off fireworks. God bless America.
It's very dry out there.
For,
It is dry
yes,
out
we are
there.
in the
Careful.
one of the most severe droughts in Lynchburg, so please be careful. For Joe and Matt, happy 4th. God bless America. We'll see you then.
God bless America.